Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. My name is Amanda and in today's video we are going to be doing a Sims 4 speed build, and this time I'm going to be renovating the 2B Jasmine suite apartment in San Myshuno, and I decided to do this as a CC build. So recently I got a new PC, and instead of transferring all my CC over because it needed a really big sort out, I decided I would just play vanilla for a little while and then slowly start adding some CC back in. And that's basically what I did before building this apartment, because I had an apartment in mind that I wanted to do for this, and I thought some CC would work nice in it. So I download all my CC from CurseForge, and the 4 or 5 packs that we're going to be using today are all from House of Harlux, as when I was a CC builder or preferred using CC over vanilla, I really loved a lot of the House of Harlux, I think that's how you say it, CC packs. I will leave all the packs I've used in the description box below, but off the top of my head I think I used the Bafroom one, Baysic Bathroom, and I used a couple of their Kichen ones. I could have used a lot more, especially for what I had in mind for this build, but they were what I started off with downloading. So we're going to use a mix of CC and quite a few different Sims packs in this build. But what I wanted for this build is I wanted it to have quite a nice kitchen, to be quite honest. So that was what inspired me to get out some CC. So we're coming in now, and I think a lot of this, I know I used at least 2, maybe 3 CC packs from House of Harlux for the kitchen because I quite liked the ones they had available. So I really loved with this one the integrated oven that you could put into the counters. I think it just looks so much nicer, and it's quite realistic, especially for a small apartment build. So I did then decide to also add in an island counter to go and have the sink separated. I wanted this living space here to be the kitchen and living and sort of dining area, so it's quite a small space, but I wanted it to look quite nice. However, for this apartment I have in mind a single mum who is studying in the city, and that's why she's decided to move here. But I wanted it to have a bit of a rundown, low budget vibe, but then also, for example, when you move into an apartment, it might have had a renovated kitchen, but the rest of the apartment might not have had much done to it. Or maybe the people who lived here before, maybe the owners of it, put a new kitchen in but then moved out and decided to rent it out, that kind of thing. So I wanted the actual kind of the things that come with the apartment, so like the kitchen and the bathroom, to look quite nice, but maybe the single mum living in it doesn't have a lot of money to spend on too much more nicer furnishings. So it had a little bit of a mix of both, and that's why I really liked the CC packs I used here, because they have a very IKEA feel to them, and IKEA is quite budget friendly, where you can get quite a few nice things but on a lower budget, because they're not made from things like super solid woods and stuff like that. So I wanted, for example, like the PAX wardrobe system. I know that can be expensive, but then you can also make it work for your budget as well. So I kind of wanted to have a little bit of a mix of that in this apartment, because like I said, she's a young single mom currently studying and maybe also having to work part-time and juggle it could be, I think I've done this, so technically you could have an infant or a toddler here. I don't massively play with the infants, so I don't know too much if I've put everything in that they might need, but I tried my best. So yeah, moving on to the build, we've moved on from the kitchen into the living space, and this is where I kind of wanted to go for that more budget friendly look, but while still keeping it quite nice and modern, because she is young, she does want quite an aesthetically pleasing home still. But I thought things like the sofa, some of these items from Parenthood and Dream Home Decorator have quite a simple IKEA friendly vibe to them, if that makes sense. And then I did also want to make sure that I put in lots of baby and infant clutter, as a lot of the time when I build for a house that ends up having children, I forget to add some of the baby and toddler clutter around the property. I kind of just stick a cot and a potty in for them and then I think, yep, we're done. So I wanted to make sure I didn't do that in this build. So around the apartment, I've added in things like packs of wipes. We've got the toddler tablet here as well. And then I did also add in the travel cot here as well, because I thought that would be quite easy. I know myself, when my children were young, I always wanted to be with them when they were sleeping so I could keep an eye on them. But then of course you've got things that you need to get done, or maybe you're also chilling, watching some TV. So I wanted to make sure that there was sleeping spaces for the toddler or more infant around the apartment. I did end up towards the end of the video adding a laptop over on one of the counters where the chairs are, because obviously if she's studying you're going to need access to a laptop, and there wasn't exactly enough space in the apartment to add in a desk. So I thought adding that on there, and then it's great, you've got the toddler sleeping in the cot, you can catch up on some work that you need to get done. So I kind of tried to add a lot of those kind of items around to make it a very lived in space. We're then going to move on to the bedroom, and I love these style wardrobes. There are so many available in the CC kit so that you can completely create a style that suits you. You can add lots, you can add few. There's options where there's doors open, doors close, lots of different color combinations as well. I definitely think wardrobes are something that are really missing from the Sims 4 packs. I know that you've got some clothing options with the Dream Home Decorator pack where you can hang up clothing, but I do think there's a real lack of wardrobes. So I loved the style of these as well. I think they look quite modern. Again, got the whole IKEA look to them, which I think is really fun. So I use these in both the mum's room and the baby boy's room as well, because there was a really cute blue swatch, and then I kind of used that as my inspiration for his room. But sticking with this room, I wanted to make sure there was lots of the mum's clutter. I did want to add in lots of books and things to represent that she's studying at uni. So I kind of added in lots of those bits and bobs on this shelf. Now this shelf did actually come with one of the Kichen packs, but I liked how it was it had a very was already there vibe to it for moving into the flat. So maybe the mums just made use of it, thinking this is just a great place where I can stick all of my storage. As I know a lot of the time when I lived in apartments, you get a lot of those kind of things already there, you know, like shelving, storage and things like that. So I didn't necessarily want this to 100% match her furnishings, because I wanted it to look as though this was already there. I kept things simple with the bedside bedside tables. I kept things simple with them. They kind of remind me of the Malm, I think it's Malm ones from IKEA as well. And then I wanted to fit something in this space over here. And this is where I thought, obviously she's a student, she's a single mom, so maybe working outside of the house would be really difficult for her, because she already has to pay childcare for her son when she's at uni. So I decided maybe she could be at uni studying something in the arts, creative career. I'm not 100% sure if that is possible. It's been a long time since I've played university gameplay, but I did also add in the artist easel, as that's a great way for making money from home in The Sims 4. So I added that in there, and maybe that's what she uses to make some money alongside being at university so that she can afford her rent. Moving on into, I did also add down a baby's travel cot thing in the mum's room as well, as I kind of just thought it's nice. Maybe she's got this nursery set up for him for when he's a bit older, so all his clothes, his cot and that is in here. But I kind of just imagined whilst he was still an infant, he's sleeping in the mum's room. Like, I know when my children were little, I kept them in with me until I think they were like nearly a year old, just because they were bad sleepers. So it was nice that if they woke up in the middle of the night, they were there. But I know everyone does things differently, but I thought it would be good for gameplay that he could sleep in the mum's room, and then maybe as he gets a little bit older, he's more of the toddler age, he can come and move in to sleeping in his room. but also it's still great that there's a space here for all that baby and toddler stuff, rather than it being a small 1-bedroom apartment and it all having to be cramped into one space. Now, I don't have the Growing Together game pack or expansion pack, which I believe comes with the infant changing table. But before that pack even come out, I used to always just kind of create my own using the ottoman and a dresser. There's a couple of different combinations you can use. Obviously, it's not functional for gameplay. Unfortunately, I do actually plan on buying the Growing Together expansion pack because it does actually look like something I'd get a lot of use out of. But for now, I just done a little makeshift one using the dresser and the ottoman, and I really loved how the bedroom turned out. It kind of looks nice and lived in without being too aesthetically pleasing, because I wanted to stick with that budget. So maybe things are a bit mismatched where they've been purchased at different times, and I thought it was a super cute room for either an infant or a toddler, and it'd be really easy to change up into a child's room as well, because you could just swap the cot out for a bed. Moving on into the bathroom, again, like the kitchen, I wanted it to have fairly nice counters and a bath, because these come with the apartment, so she's not actually had to pay for them. So I wanted to go for quite a nice vibe with those. I did end up changing out this sink as I popped it into this counter, but for some reason when I was testing the build, it just wouldn't function. So I did end up swapping this out for a different sink, which I didn't include it in the video because I just presumed this one, I don't actually know why this one wasn't working when it come to play testing. So I swapped this sink out, so you will see a different sink when it comes to the screenshots. But I really loved all the clutter that come with these CC packs, like the toothbrush holder, the bottles of mouthwash and shampoo. I really loved this candle as well. So I kind of tried to include a lot of clutter from these CC packs in the bathroom as well. And I kind of liked how it's just there up on the shelf, because again, she's not got money to go out and buy lots of fancy cupboards and storage shelving, things like that. So just having it all there kind of kept with that budget friendly vibe. I didn't go too OTT on the bathroom though, so I kind of tried to keep it simple. And then I wanted to make use of this fairly large hallway space. I probably could have played around with the floor plan here a little bit more and made a less large hallway, because this is quite a big hallway to say it's only a small apartment. But I decided I'd fill it with a little bit of clutter anyway. Sticking with that whole student vibe, I thought this would be a good place to stick some books. Again, the baby wipes are there. I think I add in a coffee cup because I wanted it to feel very realistic, and as a mum you're usually rushing about, especially if you're working and studying as well, so it's kind of just a place to dump that down along with phone and keys. I then always towards the end of my builds go in and add light switches. If I don't remember to add them as I'm building, I go in and add some light switches to all of the rooms, as again I love that level of realism. Something else that I love as well are the heaters. Now I do think, I could be wrong, that they are only in the for rent pack, which I do think the heaters should be base game, because in all honesty, you know, everyone has some heaters in their house, so I don't think these should be locked behind the for rent pack. But these are one of my favorite items from the for rent pack for building, because again they add that level of realism. And then yeah, that was the end of the build. I always find apartments quite quick and easy to do, but I do want to do some more larger home builds on my channel. I've just been a bit pushed for time with work these last couple of days, but I had lots of fun doing this build. So let me know in the comments below if you would like to see any more CC builds especially. I will leave all the CC I've linked in the description box below in case you guys want to check it out. If you did enjoy this video, the build is up on the gallery to download, I believe. If not, it will be soon. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment below and hit that subscription button if you would like to see more. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye bye.